Hi, everybody, and welcome to In Media, an MAB podcast. I'm Casey Jones, and this is the show where we take a deeper dive into the personalities behind the media we consume, the influence they carry, and the responsibility that they hold. She's holding back a smirk here as we talk about that, because before we get into the long list of accolades, let's introduce our guest today is Lauren Smith, Shmitty, as they call it.
Thank you.
I don't know which call letter to tie you to. Wood Radio, Star 105.7, WSNX, B93, the iHeart group in Grand Rapids.
The iHeart group, yeah. That's usually what I say. It's perfection.
But more importantly, co-host, because we just co-hosted together. That was my first time on the radio, and you made it so wonderful. I mean, you are so good at what you do.
That's kind. You can be honest. I was curious if I only got invited here because I bribed you with a co-host position. As soon as we got done, I was like, I'm getting on that MAB podcast.
Yeah, right.
Watch out.
I mean, that was so fun. And really watching it work. Like I said, I spent 15 plus years in television, but I had never guest hosted a show, and to see how it's all put together. I mean, that was really eye-opening for me. There's a lot of work that goes into it. You're, like I said,
Thank you for saying that.
You are very good at it.
It's interesting doing 3 different formats for people that aren't familiar. Like to have a news talk, I do adult contemporary, and then I do top 40. So with a news talk, you just have so much you're trying to get in a morning. You've got news, you've got personality, you've got sports, you've got fun. It moves so fast. You kept up great. As in, I'm going to need you again in the bottom.
Well, because I had to. I was like, oh my gosh, it's my turn again.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like, it keeps coming.
It's fast paced. It's fun. It makes the morning go quick, which is nice because, you're getting up at 3:05 a.m.
Is that what time the alarm goes off?
I have 6 alarms. That's my first one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it's progressively, they say meaner things to me, my label. Like the last one of my alarms is like, if you don't get up, your kids won't eat. So personally, that's been my path to success.
Take me through all 6. What do they say?
So my 3:05 is time to wake up. Then I have a 3:15 and it says, wake up for real. I give myself till 3:35 and it said, you can't do your hair. 3:45, it says you don't have makeup. And then 4:05 is the get up, your kids aren't going to eat. I find that shaming myself is the best way to get myself going. And
is it normally the 3:45? Or like, which one do you get up? Like,
honestly, yeah, it's probably the 3:45. Sometimes the 3:35 if I'm feeling real good. But I'm usually like on the road. I get on the road by like 4. Then I'm in the studio by 4:15, 4:20.
Kids got to eat.
Kids got to eat. Would there be anything else that would make you go to work other than being like an absolute failure of a parent? Like, exactly.
I'm sorry, Mom wanted to sleep till 4.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. That's my morning.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
So, and I mean, you haven't been with iHeart for all 20 years or almost 20 years. It's been 2 decades. There's been some changes in ownership, but you've been with the same group in the same station group for almost 2 decades.
Which, I mean, the older I get, I realize is a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely, it's a tough industry to kind of keep where you are. But I started when it was still Clear Channel. And then went through that whole switch to iHeart. And then I've just been I started as executive producer for the Wood Morning Show and kind of like worked my way up. Really, anytime I heard somebody was about to leave, I just immediately went to that like program director or boss and said, hey, could I just like try out for it? And then I was lucky enough that every time things changed and I was, replaced in mornings, they just kept me on that station in some other way. So I do all of it now, but it's fun.
So, truth be told, we not only guest hosted together, we also went to college together.
We did.
Right? So our relationship goes back to the Laker Blue.
And we were, I think, fair to say, too, the most successful broadcast majors they've ever seen.
Well,
I'll say
it. You can say it. Sure. Go. But also probably 2 broadcast students who at the time were both told, like, find a different career. This will not work for you.
That's a really
Maybe that
good
was the
point.
motivation we needed.
We want to prove people wrong. I think a lot of people, I don't know if that's the same for TV. It feels like that in radio, though. If you, like, I've set my mind to this. I've trained myself for this. I know what I'm going to prove people wrong. I don't think it's a negative thing, but it's definitely maybe a chip on the shoulder because so many of us, especially with our kind of generation of broadcasting, we're told that. Or like, well, better have a backup plan. And it's like, well, my backup plan is I'm just going to do everything. and be affordable.
I think you're right. For me, I remember one of my professors telling me, and I won't say his Alan Bell name, but find a different career. Like, this is not the path for you. And I don't think he meant it maliciously. I think
it was his way of being
you
realistic.
Don't have 2 out of the 90 in this class will ever work in this business, is what he told us. And then one-on-one, he was like, "You're not one of the 2. Like, get out of this.
Dang,
do yourself a favor." But I do remember like thinking to myself, gosh, I hope he's watching.
Yeah.
And I hope a little piece of him is proud, but I hope really it's like, gotcha. And it was that chip.
Yeah. Chalk it up.
That you carry. Yeah.
Win.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But also like, gotta feed the kids. That's the other chip.
You're similar to me though. I mean, you would like in TV, you started with sports and then eventually you found yourself as the morning anchor.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great.
You figured it out.
I think, and I think something that resonates with your story, and because I've heard you spoke at our student awards this year,
that was really cool.
Which we really appreciated. And, kids getting into this industry might not react the same way to the chip on the shoulder that we did, but hearing stories like yours or hearing that chip, they might have that chip and it might help them. You spoke about just saying yes to opportunity. Mm-hmm. You've done that throughout your career, throughout the 2 decades.
I've tried.
You've said yes a lot.
Is
knowing your vocabulary.
I'm non-confrontational. I'm very afraid to say no. But it's worked out. I mean, it's interesting. And I do think this is something that's still really fun about this industry is that you just never know what you could think. I've peaked. I'm done. I've done it all. And I was kind of feeling that way a little bit. And then I got the opportunity with the Grand Rapids Rise.
Yeah.
I had never done sports calling in my life. And I was like, I mean, are you sure? I've never even touched a volleyball. So I watched 3 days of YouTube and I figured out, a pancake monster block, all this stuff. I had a blast for, a couple seasons with them. That was so fun. And I thought, I don't know how many other jobs you may have that kind of opportunity. Call it reinvention, I guess, or whatever you will. But it's fun to know that there's possibly always something else coming.
Constant growth.
Yeah, constant growth. And that keeps it fun and not boring. And I'm also, I'm always doing these health stories on our news talk about all the ways that, you get old and slowly die. So I figure this is a great one to keep me going.
This is the hope that we need.
It's you better be learning something new every day or dementia will get you. It's oh my God. So this is a fabulous job to be doing that.
Is there a yes that sticks out to you as the one that, gosh, this was the best yes I had, or it changed my trajectory, my future for the better?
That's a really, really good question. I would say probably it's a 50-50. Yes to getting the morning show on SNX because I was able to prove that I could be an on-air personality. Up until that point, I was on Wood, but it was from a, producer standpoint. It wasn't necessarily someone billed on the show. But I think my other yes was saying yes to hosting Wood Radio because there had never been a female host in that position in the 100-year history of that station. And it was so scary and it was so daunting. But then afterwards I was like, oh, yes, I did it. I can do it. And I think that gave me confidence I hadn't had in a while. It's a good way. I always hope that someone in any job has a good reminder that you're really good at what you do. And, don't listen to what anybody else says. Make yourself your own barometer. You can do big, hard things. I think I stole that from someone's podcast, but you can.
We say that to our kids. You can do big, hard things. You can do hard things. Mm-hmm. It doesn't work. They still don't want to do the thing. It's like picking up your toys. You can do hard things. Oh. But I'd love to unpack more of the why Wood Radio. I mean, that's a great team. But now there's an opportunity to talk about your kids because I think that's the other thing that people don't see about you on the radio unless they're following you on your socials. Mm-hmm. Is you're not only setting an alarm at 3:05, 3:15, 3:30. You got 2 little ones at home as well. I mean, you're juggling work mom, mom.
Yeah.
how has that dynamic been over 8 years now?
Yeah, right. I have an 8 and a 5-year-old. You're right. Wow. It's tough. But I think any working parent, I'm sure you will feel the exact same way, especially doing everything you're doing, commuting for this job like you do. You still get that guilt where I'll get the line sometimes like, oh, you're always at work. But then I realize it's just because they want me to get them something. And I'm like, that's brilliant. It's a great use of the guilt. That's fine. It is my husband, 110%. It's what makes this work. And that's actually one of the biggest pieces of advice I would give probably anyone. I've had people ask me that before. How do you do it all? I don't. There is someone who saw that this was going to be my job really early on. He's known me since college and kind of is just so wonderful at stepping up in every way possible. Like, hey, got an event that came up. Hey, my meeting is going to go late. I'm not out at noon. I'm out at 3. I mean, he's been wonderful. And I don't think you work in media, period, if you don't have a good partner. No matter what that looks like for you. If it's a good friend, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but you need somebody that's really ready to hype you because the good days are good, but the hard days are hard. And he's been a big part of that. And the reason that, my kids feel like they see me a little bit because he always puts the stations on in the morning when they're getting ready for school. It's funny, actually, until like a couple of years ago, they had no idea that like my voice went everywhere. They thought it just went to the kitchen. Isn't that cute? I was like, it's shocking you think someone would pay for that, but you keep that beautiful mindset.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I understand that dynamic of the good partner to help.
Yeah.
Help you through the good and the bad days. And it's funny because I've known you for so long and I've never met your husband, but you talk about him so frequently over the air that I feel like I know this man. And so I'm curious, like, you tell a story on the air. Do you ever catch flack or do you ever overshare from his point of view?
I'm certain. I'm certain I overshare. But I'm like, then stop doing ridiculous things. I can't miss that for content. He's a really, really good sport. He is a fantastic sport. The only flack I'll ever get, if it's flack, is he'll head to like school drop off in the morning and people would be like, oh, wow, you should have heard what she said today. And he just doesn't know. And he's like, I prefer it that way. I'm sure it was a great story. I'm like, thank you so much. Love you. So yeah, that's probably the only like little flack I get.
Okay. So you've got a good sport in the house. That's
very
great.
Really much so.
Yeah. What is it about this industry that keeps you getting up in the morning so early, coming into the office and having fun every single day?
I really love it. I love talking to a lot of people. I don't know. To me, it still feels like, and that's a huge credit to the audience. I'm really lucky with the listeners that I have. I mean, especially having the digital side of things with social media, the amount of people that will pop into messages or will call in, it just constantly feels like a giant room full of people hanging out. I don't know where else I would ever get that. And I really, really like it. I love partnering with charities. That would probably be the hardest part of maybe ever not doing this going forward. The amount of really good people and good organizations I get to meet and hook up with and do things. But it's like you're constantly on a fun trip with people that are just really, really cool. And talk about, I don't know, maybe it's me, restoring your faith in humanity. The amount of stories that I get to do or the stories that people share with me, which feels like such a privilege, even on the hard days, that's such a nice perspective change. And that's all the people.
Do you have one that sticks out?
I have to tell you, I think every year I would easily tell you the Helen DeVos Children's Hospital Radiothon. I mean, when you talk to families that are just so ready and honest and vulnerable to share stories about their kids, you meet people a part of it, you meet team members at the hospital. I look forward to it. We start planning that, 6 months out from the, broadcast side of things, the foundation even further. And you just it follows through the year. I mean, I'm doing feel good stories in March and April, based on a family I met in December. And it makes you excited to live in West Michigan too. I mean, I'm sure it's like this across Michigan, but I really love the West Side and how philanthropic it is. You're just, I don't know, you get up in the morning and you're like, yeah, there's some rough stuff in the world, but I feel like I'm talking to just really good people. And it's very refreshing.
Yeah. I've had the opportunity to listen, obviously, in the area. Heard the Radiothon.
Mm-hmm.
You guys do such a tremendous job with it, and that's a huge undertaking because
It is.
Is it 2 full days?
Yes.
48 hours straight?
So we're on the air 7 to 7 with the Radiothon, but like that Thursday, I still do like a regular show. I'm still in at 4, and then that Friday usually goes until like 8:30 at night. So yeah, it's a full couple days.
And how long have you been doing that?
That I even filled in before I was on Stars, so it's probably been over a decade.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. It has to be because I remember having a couple families whose kids were like 8 or 9, and I got a letter this year of one of them graduating high school.
Whoa.
So I know it's shocking. I'm 23, so I don't know how that's possible, but it is. But yeah, I don't know. I think that a lot of what we do is just a really nice reminder that things aren't super totally bad. I feel like that's something that's really necessary right now.
That there's good out there. You get to see it. You get to amplify it.
There's good. There's hope. There's happy. I hope to amplify it, right? There's always the funny stories about humanity getting a Darwin Award, but you have those too, right? Yeah. In a good way. So, but it's happy stuff. I think a lot of us strive for the happy right now, which is nice. That's been I think a good change, at least in radio, that you've gone from the shock jock, which had its place, but now it's just kind of like, I'm going to wake you up in the best mood possible. That's what I try to do, I guess. And a lot of times that's talking about my messy stuff, but look at what I say. You're a much better parent than myself. Go about your day in the best mood possible.
Is it ever hyperbole or is it? Because sometimes I'll hear it and I'll be like, wow, Shmitty.
Yeah. Yes. That is the reaction I'm looking for.
But when I was guest hosting with you, you told me a story off air that she didn't even tell on air. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So
I think I attract interesting stuff. Yeah. So, but I just figure, gosh, if it's happened to me, it's probably happened to at least one other person. I'm going to talk about it.
Is there a moment in your career where you had this, wow, this microphone can change lives, can change spirits?
Yeah. Ooh. You know what? It feels, I don't know, it feels kind of, it doesn't feel as paramount and huge as I think some people would expect. But I have to tell you, when somebody comes up to me at an event or they see me in public and it's almost like they're starstruck and they just want a hug or a picture, I'm like, oh my God, me? And I do think that's really incredible. I've heard some really fabulous stories, people that have started volunteering for organizations I've talked about, people that have found their way to families, an adoption network that I work with and talk about, gave them kids. That kind of stuff is absolutely mind-blowing. And I don't know if there's just one moment. I don't know. Maybe it probably goes back to the Radiothon again, because I had done Radiothon for probably 4 years by this point. But then when I had my son, we actually found ourselves at Helen DeVos. And I was stunned at a couple of the nurses that were like, I hope this isn't, inappropriate, whatever. They were like, but man, you raised so much money and it went here, here, and here. And we're just, we really hope that we can show you that everything you guys talk about is exactly what we do and the mission that we have. And it was. And I went, what a full circle crazy moment.
Yeah, that's unique.
That was wild. Yeah, very unique. But then it just fires you up, doesn't it? To get back to doing it. It's crazy. Yeah, it pulls you right back in every time. It does.
Yeah, how could you not wake up, do your show, go do the Radiothon? after that. I mean, you've experienced it firsthand.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, based on, what kind of media you're in, have seen that. I know that there's been stories, we've done that I do believe have probably saved lives. That's a powerful responsibility. And sometimes, somebody listening might not even realize that's what's happening because they're just excited to wake up and have somebody to talk to or talk with. I take that responsibility very seriously. I do. I like that part of it.
And it's changed a lot, even over the 2 decades that you've been doing this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Almost 2 decades.
Thank you.
23. When I was in your studios, you talked a lot about the way you're able to interact with your listeners and viewers.
Yeah.
You're a radio station with viewers.
Yeah.
That's a new dynamic within the last few years that you guys have really leaned into. How has that evolved?
The amount of people, like your reach, it has become so big. I mean, it's wild to work for a company like iHeart too, because everyone knows iHeartRadio. And so I'll do a TikTok live every morning while I'm doing my show on Star. And the amount of people that will pop in and be like, oh, I'm listening. And today was Idaho, Texas. Somebody was in Washington. And they're like, what station is this? And they're like, awesome, great. I programmed it. If I can hear you, because I can't stay on TikTok, but I want to, head to work or whatever. That's, so wild, so different too. Once again, my age, I can remember being in radio, like when Instagram launched. And kind of starting to hear like, you guys should post pictures and talk about things. And now it's like, if you're not doing that, you're missing so many potential people that you can connect with in a totally different way. And that part's fun too. There's another one of those new growth examples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're really good at that. You got a niche for that. That certain type of audience and the content that you post. Mm-hmm. So I want to know, like you say, you enjoy it. It is a new layer to the job.
Yes.
That you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
But you do enjoy that piece of it.
For the most part, I would say it's probably 90-10. I don't hate a vacation. Where it's like I'm going to be off the grid for a little bit. But I really like it. I like seeing other people. I mean, I say this and I don't think people believe me, but like I am stalking your stuff and I am going to use it on the show because so much of what they're living or doing is also what I'm living and doing. And that sense of connection feels easy. And it's just another way to connect. I think people crave that, don't you?
Yeah.
It's not just us, right? That we went into this business because we are extroverts that love doing everything and being everywhere. I think a lot of people, that's exactly what they're looking for. And if you're able to make that a little easier, what a great day for everybody around.
Yeah. I think you said that well. I mean, I remember when I would try to put a story together for the news, it was like, okay, what is the piece of this story that resonates with everybody? It's one person's story, but how do you connect everybody to it? Because everyone can relate. And yeah, you guys do that so well every single day.
Appreciate that.
You are the MAB Station of the Year in Market 2. That was fun to hear. That's nice to hear. Good, you guys had some fun bits with that, if you will, moments that I was.
We knew you were a good sport.
Right. It's all good. I'm curious about you do news talk. You're doing adult contemporary.
Yeah.
Is there one where you're like, I really like this?
Yeah.
Or I
There's not. I really like that I get to be a different person throughout the day. So I've always loved news. And I don't know if that's just because I was brought up in news, right? That's what we went to Grand Valley for. I always thought that I was going to be I was going to be like on TV delivering the news. I really like news talk. I love Star just because it feels like I really am talking to those moms and I'm learning a ton about the 80s. Oh my gosh. Born in 87, I was decade. Like, yes, I'm learning about movies I'd never seen. People call up and give me, trash talk me for not ever knowing what, The Princess Bride is. That's a fun one.
You didn't know The
I
Princess
know.
Bride?
Nope. And I've never seen Footloose or Dirty Dancing. Exactly.
And you take heat on air for this.
A lot. Yeah. I think my credibility does take a hit on the Star. But I always say I'm a mom that can still get it. And I love being on SNX. I do. I still love being able to do like the events that we do and feeling like it's a throwback to my younger days. So I don't think I could give you a favorite. I really enjoy how the day progresses.
Well, then let's talk about where you saw yourself when you got into this, because it sounds like radio was not the initial love.
No,
and this has been a long-term relationship that has worked out.
Yeah,
but you wanted television.
I did. I really thought it would be television. I got this internship through Grand Valley with Star, and I was like, no, this is great. And then I ended up actually interning with Miranda at Wood TV for a semester. And I loved that too. But I'm so surprised at how off the cuff radio is, and I really, really loved that. And then I got super lucky that a job opened up, a couple months after we graduated. And I said, let me give this a go. And it was super fun. And I, credit my team to that. I worked with a couple of really fantastic guys at the beginning that just taught me a ton in a very short amount of time. And I thought it was really cool. And like a month after I started, Hanson came in to do a live performance. And I'm like, oof, I'm sold. I mbopped my way right down the hall to a different studio. Yes, I did. I was like, this is fun. This is a really cool. And then I just was like, there's so many opportunities for different kind of interesting, wacky things. We were doing all sorts of stuff. And I fell in love with that.
Is that love the same as it was at the beginning of that internship, the beginning of that job, or has it matured and changed?
Yeah. It's probably definitely changed. I think at the beginning, I'm 22 and I'm like, I love this. This is so fun. Like we have club gigs and we have all this stuff. Now I think I'm really excited to go in every day and have a shared experience. I think that's the biggest thing. It's not so much, not that that's not fun, but I get so excited to hear what somebody's going to react to about a story I share or, a bit of knowledge that I give. I get really excited about that. Or having somebody call in with their absolutely unhinged answer to something. I'm like, yes, this is what I woke up for. So I think that's how it's probably changed. Still fun, but in a different way because people are so wild and I love learning that. No matter what station I'm on, there's interesting folk everywhere.
Yeah, you add to it. Right?
I don't know if that's complimentary or not. Okay,
in the best way.
Do.
I just think it is so interesting, Lauren, that you can go from Star to SNX to News Talk, and these are three very different pockets, and you seem, to have a hand in each of them. Is there anything that's off limits? Like no. I can't say this about this. I can't talk about that. Or are you kind of like the microphone's hot and you're an open book?
Yeah, I think I will. Language-wise, I do probably shape it up a bit for like Wood and Star. But also I've tried to keep up with Gen Z with SNX and I feel like such a poser. So I can't. I try to talk like they do. I'm like, no, you guys, I'm sorry. I'm in my 30s.
Well, but that's not a new feeling for you. You've talked about that before too with us and our students, this imposter syndrome.
Absolutely. Isn't that great? That's rampant with us.
Yeah.
Oh,
why is that? I mean, why did that seep in for you? When and why?
I don't know when it did. Probably right from the beginning. I just always thought, first of all, I never thought I'd start in a market like Grand Rapids. I mean, that's in terms of, market sizing and things. I was putting applications in the UP like when I was graduating. I felt really, really privileged to be starting there. But then I'm with all these people that have been doing it for a super long time. Back when I started, I mean, our staff, I think the low end, someone had been doing that for 10 or 12 years. And I'm like, I'm coming in my joggers and my, tank top. Like, what am I doing here? And then when I kept getting moved to a new position that I was going for, it felt like I just was not good enough for that, because I kept looking at the people that did it before me and I was in awe. I'm like, they're so good. And maybe that's what it is, especially with a forward-facing job like ours. You've always had your people that you look up to and you see. And I got to work with a couple of them and I just thought, I'm never going to be able to do that.
but now
I'll hang on. Yeah.
But you are. So how do you defeat that thought process in this industry? Or how did you, at least?
For real, I just don't think anyone's actually listening.
No.
I'm like, there are still a lot of really good people that work in this market and they're probably listening to them. So that's what helps me. It just is like, I'm here, and if somebody hears something good that they can take with them for their day, what a win. I know, I was like, that's probably not great advice, but I don't know, it works for me.
Have you gotten a piece of advice on air that's changed how you view the world or how you do something?
Ooh. It's probably been the honesty.
Yeah.
The permission that you can talk about your life, the good parts, the bad parts. And, the more emotionally connective it is, you'll land a listener for life. If somebody feels like they are actually your friend. And we are. I mean, I DM back and forth with people I've never met in real life, but I know so much about them, their family, their life situation. I think that's really cool. But yeah, to be brutally honest, there's no character in radio. You don't need to play a character. I've never fallen into that belief. Not a character, just you.
How about in this stretch of broadcasting, and not the imposter syndrome, because deep down that's not real, right?
Yeah.
Eventually you can tell yourself, I do belong. You can prove to yourself, use that chip on your shoulder. But was there ever a moment where you thought, I think this is it. I don't think I can do this anymore.
Yeah. Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Good.
Like you said, we both recognize there's hard days and the hard days are hard. But so far, I am still on the ride and I'll continue the ride. I figure if I can still get myself up and out of bed at 3 a.m. alarm, there is some part of me that still finds this very fun, very rewarding, and worth doing.
It's when the kids get their own job and they can feed themselves, and you can't get up at 3:45
start giving
anymore.
To the bottom line. Boy, what blessings, but also, and that gets me up and going.
Yeah, right. And then that's great content.
Yeah, exactly.
Because people at home can connect.
You've heard my parent confessions.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot to confess. But man, same with everybody.
Yeah, we can't open up that can here.
That's a different podcast episode.
It's a different podcast. We'll have you back on the next time you have me guest host.
I know. I get what the business transaction here, and I'm good with it.
Let's look at the how much has changed over your nearly 20 years in this industry, and where this industry is headed. And I just want your take on it. You work for a company that has a tagline of guaranteed human, and your voices are all human on air. The fact that that's an important signifier, qualifier, signals, maybe the direction that others are headed. Why is that important for your group, and why is that important for the industry?
It's so important because there's a lot of places, we hear this all the time, right? There's so many places to consume media, more so than ever before. That's probably the biggest change. I said this with the MAB Student Awards. You can do something you want to do right now, whether that's starting a YouTube channel where you create your own news or podcast. TikTok, wow, go live every single day. Same with Instagram and all these. There is a platform for anyone. So I think sometimes because that access is so easy, you may fall into possibly following or hearing things that you don't necessarily believe. And that's where the guaranteed human comes in. We all see, how simple AI has entered life. I think local, community connected people exactly what you're looking for, right? If I was somebody, I am that way. When I come back home to Lansing, I still have the people that I know are on the air here. I still have, the TV personalities that I've come back and forth so often now I've gotten to learn. I like that. That's why, some of these other platforms, would be the first to admit they don't do what we do. I think that the guaranteed human is, I'm here, you're here, this is a real connection. I think that is lost in a lot of what is new and what kinds of things come our way. And some people still want that simple, hey, you're the person that I enjoy and we have this connection. I think I've said that word a lot. It must be a crutch, but to me, that is everything. You can get anything you need somewhere else, but that person to person, which you can still do in media and digitally, I think is really, really important. It's huge.
I'll give you the last word here
Ooh.
On the microphone. It's yours to say whatever you want, big or small. The mic is yours, Lauren.
Well, thank you very much for having me. This was really, really lovely. I think, and maybe this is just the mood I'm in today, it's not that serious. So I hope whatever you're doing, whatever you're looking to do, or, whatever your day, even just your day has, it's not that serious. And if you can't laugh, you'll cry. So do it that way. Have fun.
She's Lauren Smith. I'm Casey Jones, and this is In Media.